Hi, my name is Kat, and I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG surgery on August 8th, 2018. I had a high weight in February of 370 pounds, and that was the beginning of my journey. I had to lose a certain amount of weight before I could qualify for surgery in my program, which was in Kaiser. I don't know if I mentioned that. And my surgeon wanted me to lose 40 pounds. Um, so sorry, my computer decided to give me a warning. My surgeon decided she wanted me to lose 40 pounds before my surgery. So I had to get down to 330 before I would qualify. I ended up on day of surgery being 320. And so I'm 5'5" and 47 years old. I know that matters to some people. I don't quite know why, but there you go. And I lost that weight by doing a mix of the program that the surg, my program, and I'll talk about it. I haven't talked about my program's system, my program's program. Okay. Diet, my program's diet, um, and mostly keto, and I still eat mostly keto. But as of today, I am 269 pounds. So that is a weight loss total of 101 pounds. Yes. I actually posted my 4 month, and I have pictures of progress. And I think the three pictures I have are my starting weight, and then my surgery weight, and finally the today's weight. And I think that's probably what I'll stay using uh, as I go on. But the the way my program works is they give you a diet, and that diet has like tells you what, like, for each meal, for every meal you get 3 servings or 3 units of protein, and protein is, there's a list of foods, and it's a unit is an ounce. So 3 ounces of protein, and then I honestly forget what all the other things are. There's like a fat, I think 2 vegetable. You can do 1 fruit once a day. And then there's very limited starches that you can have, but certain vegetables count as starches. And potatoes were one of the ones I could do. And it was sort of like uh, wheat bread, um, certain crackers, and like saltine crackers, and some potatoes, and like corn, I think counted. Actually, no, you can't eat corn at all in my program because you won't be able to eat corn later. The idea is the program is pretty much the same program that you'll be eating afterwards. But what I decided, I got bored with the starches early on, so I just said, can I ditch starches? And she's like, yeah. So I ended up ditching the starches and also ditching sugars completely, and then realized I'm just going to go keto. So I eat more fat than is allowed on my program, but it works for me. And I kind of feel like if for some reason it stops working for me, then yeah, I'll go back to their program and then try again, like see where it is. But honestly, I eat 3 ounces of protein at every meal, and my proteins are, um, you know, like mostly steak. I do have some chicken. I will eat bacon, and then dairy, which cheese is the main dairy. Have some heavy whipping cream, which definitely is not allowed on my program. But I and then I have some sugar-free candy every so often. I try to make it. I shouldn't say every so often. I have it. I have every day. I have at least something, and I've gotten addicted to Evolved Eating's cocoa butter cups. And specifically, I really like the salted caramel one. I like the mint. I like all three of the kinds. I think there's a new. Well, I think they did a pumpkin spice one, which I never tried for the holiday. But I also think they have a coffee one, which I haven't bothered because I'm not a coffee person. Um, but that is something that's, I find it very filling and very satisfying, and it keeps me from wanting real candy and real sugar. You know, like I have this, and it's, you know, it's got some protein in it, it's got some fat in it. But yeah, that is my, I think if I stopped eating that, I would probably lose more weight, and if I start to stall, I will dump that. I also occasionally have Lily's candy bars, um, but I never have a full, even a full serving of Lily's, because Lily's candy bars, a half a bar is a full serving, and I basically eat a row, you know, and I think there's 3 rows in a serving, maybe 4 rows in a serving. So yeah, I'm eating a small amount of that, and it's, you know, it the the stats on it are fine. It's not that bad, but if I run into trouble, I think I'm just going to drop down to meat. You know, if it's just not moving, I'm just gonna do meat. And I mean, if I'm really into trouble, I'm just gonna do steak, because that does seem to move the meter more than anything. But yeah, it's funny. I think I've lost the same amount before and after the surgery in about the same amount of time. So I know the surgery does really help me eat less. Like I I don't push it. Um, I I have occasionally had a bite too many, but I haven't had a severe reaction. I've had, like, lots of people are like, "Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I can't," you know, like my bite too many. I feel a tightness in my chest, but it passes fairly easily and fairly quickly. It just sort of like, it feels tight, and I'm like, okay, I know I had enough, and then back up. And I'll occasionally get a I'll have a hiccup, because when I first heard that I have horrible hiccups, and I get hiccups, it's like huge, painful, and it takes forever to get rid of them, and I really, really dislike it. So when I heard that hiccups were a thing that you can get when you've had one bite too many, I was not happy. But I hiccup, like I have a hiccup, and I'm like, oh, I need to stop eating now. And that's you know, it's worked just fine. So I've been happy with that that situation. But yeah, everything is, you know, like it started to move again. I think getting past that 100 pounds thing, the 2 biggest stalls I've had are trying to get to 100 pounds loss, 100-pound loss, and trying to hit my goal weight, like when I needed to get to 330. Yeah, it was 330. And I actually needed to get to probably 328 or 327, because I had to weigh in at the well, the medical offices, which are at the hospital. But I had to weigh in at the doctor's office, clothed at my goal weight, you know. So that was the hardest thing. It's like, and I didn't know that at the beginning. I mean, it's like, oh, you know, you just need to get this weight, and then you can call in and make your appointment. I'm like, oh, great. Hey, I'm at that weight. And they're like, yeah, no, you have to come in and prove that you're at that weight before we'll make that appointment. I'm like, okay, you suck. I was not happy about that. And I actually had 3, like, and you have to make an appointment. And it's like, oh, do I feel thin this morning? It took 2 weeks, I think, to get that last pound. And the same thing, the last 2 pounds for losing 100 pounds. So I'm hoping that having crossed that line, I'll just keep going pretty much. I think it was like a pound and a sixth. And it was more like on my 4 month one, I posted on Saturday, and when I woke up on Saturday, it was 268.2, which is great. I was like really happy. But yeah, it went back up. And on even on Sunday, it was like Saturday was down, and Sunday, and you know that happens sometimes. And also, I think how much sleep I get, that is like, besides steak, I think one of the biggest things that influences my weight is how much deep sleep I get. And it's really fascinating because I do this app that isn't native to, it's called Auto Sleep. It's not native to the Apple Watch, but it works with the Apple Watch. And I'll just sort of see if I can hold that up. I don't know if you can see that information. Nope. Oh, you can kind of see it there. So you can see that I got, pulling it back, so 7 hours of sleep, and then 5 hours of quality sleep, and 14 minutes of deep sleep, and then I have my thing. And it also has this little chart, which okay, there you go. So you can see over here, right there, there's that little one that's got little, it's low, but it also has a little deeper purple underneath it. And that means that's my deep sleep, because it's sort of in 15-minute increments throughout the night. And I have quite a few ones that are very low, but only one of them is deep. And I have nights where I don't get any of what they consider deep sleep. Hello, now I'm focused again. But there are other times when I'll get, like, I think the most I've ever gotten is 2 hours. But sometimes I'll get an hour, like usually 15 minutes to half an hour is the most, as the typical amount of deep sleep I get. But on the days that I get an hour and a half or more, I find that I have lost more weight. So that's, you know, quality of sleep is important. I fall asleep rather easily, and then I will usually have to get up at least once. And I don't know if you saw on that, there was a green bar, and that was me going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, because that is something that I have to do. Usually once, sometimes twice. I try to finish drinking my fluids, which I've already finished drinking my needed fluids for the day. I will have some more. And I'm trying to get better at not drinking with my meals. I don't drink with my meals anymore. I used to drink a ton with my meals. So that was the biggest thing. Now, a lot of times I feel, even, you know, I try to eat moist food, but even eating moist food, I find that I feel like I'm going to choke. You know, like my throat feels very dry, and I feel like I'm going to choke while I'm eating. Not that I'm eating too fast or that I'm not chewing enough, but I just want more fluid. So what I end up doing is like having tiny sips of water just to moisten my mouth and moisten my throat. Not full, you know, like I can actually, I don't know if I can gulp. I can thoroughly drink, because I know there's some people that have afterwards have problems, and I actually never really, I was very cautious in the beginning in doing the sip, 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 but I can take a drink and I can probably drink an ounce at a time, where I just sort of like, you know, like pick up the water bottle and drink, drink, drink. I will feel uncomfortable if I try to do 2 ounces at a time. But you know, I can get you know, it in, and I can drink 8 ounces within a minute or two, if I'm behind on water, and I just sort of drink, rest, drink, rest, drink, rest. So I make it a little bit easier to catch up on getting fluid in if I start late. See, weekdays, if I'm at work, I hate work, but if I'm at work, my schedule is very regimented and well. My food is on point. My vitamins are on point. My water is just like drink now, and not a problem. But when I am at home on the weekends, I sleep in. So I'm not up at 7 o'clock and starting my drinking my, having my vitamins and drinking my water. Sometimes there have been days that 11 o'clock is when I got up. So that just like sets me back for the water, sets me back for my exercise. I try very hard to, I use my Apple Watch. I try hard to close all my things. And for some stupid reason, I have set my calories super high. There's, if you have an Apple Watch, it has these three rings. And those three rings are standing for at least 12 hours a day. And then standing for at least a minute during 12 hours within your day or more. So I usually can get at least to 12 and usually 16. And then the other things that it measures are 30 minutes of exercise. It doesn't have to be continuous, but just 30 minutes of a high heart rate. And then the last one is calories, and this is calories outside of your basal metabolic rate. So like there are a certain number of calories that you need just to exist, and that doesn't count this. This is all like active calories. Now it doesn't mean like super, like just me moving my hand here is going to burn some calories. So I got really animated. So that is something that I need to, the only one that you can change is those calories that you do, and it comes set at like 200, and for some reason every time you complete a week of doing it, it's like, oh, you want to raise it up, and then it suggests something, and I just kept saying okay, and then it got to 810 calories, and I do complete that, but it keeps wanting to move it up, and I'm like, screw you, no. I will achieve this, but there are actually like goals that you can meet that's like 200 times, like 100 times your calorie rate, or 200 times, or I think like 400 times your calorie rate. Like if I keep moving it up, I'm never going to get any of those, and right now I'm still not getting any of those. I mean, as of today, I have right now I have 1,122 calories that I have burned today. And that was hard work, and I worked really hard for that. I also have quite a few. I have 70 minutes of exercise. Got me. But only 13 hours of standing, because that is every hour since 5 o'clock this morning, standing, because it is only 5 o'clock right now. Yeah, it's something that I have a fairly good streak going. I would have a longer streak going if I hadn't been able to, like the move things, I wasn't able to finish on my surgery day and the 2 days after. But since then, I've been working really hard on it, and I think there was one day that I didn't get my exercise in because I was doing a show and I was working, and I burned all the calories, but I wasn't doing consistent exercise. So I got home and I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I'll get that exercise in before I go to bed. And I realized that I needed to get 15 more minutes in, and I looked at the clock and it was 5 of midnight. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I cannot fit 15 minutes in 5 minutes, and then it's going to count for tomorrow, and I don't need it to count for tomorrow. I'll worry about tomorrow. So that was the only time that I haven't achieved all of the circles since 2 days after my surgery. So I'm happy with that. I think I'm doing pretty well on that. Could be doing better, and I'm still considering maybe signing up for the gym. But I'm like, do I want? I don't know if I want to be in the press of people that join the gym, unless it's a really good deal, which I will keep my eyes open. But I don't want to be in the press of everybody joining at for the first of the year, and then usually most people, drop out. And I don't plan on dropping out once I start, but we'll see. Anyway, this has been a lot of talking and probably about very little. But yes, I'm really, really happy to have reached the 100 pound mark. It's funny, if I look at the pictures, I do see a difference. I can see a definite difference. But I don't feel different in my body yet, and I don't see much different when I look into the mirror. I still see a big woman. But I know I've lost 100 pounds, and losing 100 pounds is really amazing and something that I didn't think I'd ever be able to say that I'd lost 100 pounds. But having lost 100 pounds and know that I have another 100 pounds and some to go, like I think 120 pounds. Yeah, 120 pounds, 125 pounds. Wow, I want it. I want to do it. I want to do it really badly. I think I have the tools to do it. Like I said, I am doing keto, and my husband is doing keto with me, which is fabulous. And we really aren't planning on ever stopping. So, we might modify it, but I'm not going to bring sugar back into my life in any substantial way. I mean, I might have an occasional treat, but it's going to be like one or two things a year rather than, one or two things a day. Hell, it was more than that. When I was doing, eating whatever the hell I wanted, I was eating whatever the hell I wanted. And yeah, it wasn't helping me. But what's really funny is it wasn't helping me when I was eating, like I did the normal diets, and I wasn't losing weight on the normal diets, the non-keto, the low-fat, high carbohydrate, lettuce, salad diets. That wasn't, I was eating what I was supposed to be eating, and it wasn't having any effect. And so I would fall off of them. And, I still wanted the sugar. I still wanted the sugar. And having done that for so long, I was convinced that I, might as well just eat whatever the hell I want, because it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to make things, how could it make things worse? I think I did gain weight when doing that, but I was fed up. And then making the keto change has really made a significant difference. And honestly, more than the surgery, which, I like everybody says, I wish I'd done it sooner. I do wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I'd done it sooner, but I'm really glad that I'm doing it in conjunction with keto, because I think I see other people, and they allow themselves to have French fries, or they allow themselves to have little things. It's like on our program, we're supposed to eat your protein first, and it has to be uncontaminated protein. So I eat pretty much protein. Like I don't have to worry about uncontaminating my protein, because all I eat is meat and cheese. And then occasionally I'll have some broccoli or something else, but I have to eat that after I finished my protein. And yeah, I really am not going to have anything if I'm waiting until after I finish my protein. Yeah, I'm okay. I will say I do contaminate my protein a little bit in the fact that I will have guacamole, which is a fat, with my beef on I go to Chipotle, so one day a week I get barbacoa and steak combined with some cheese on top, and I have a little bit of avocado with that. It's good fat. I have no problem with that. It has a little bit of veggies in there, you know, like other vegetables or herbs or stuff. But yeah, I have no problem with that. I think that's fine. Um, and technically, I should not eat that until after, but I do. But other than that, I really don't contaminate my protein. I eat just straight meat, cheese, and then after that, if I still have room, I have a little bit of my Lily's or my Evolved Cup and or a bite. And I do mean bite. I have like a spoonful of homemade keto ice cream. And if you're interested in homemade the heavy whipping cream ice cream, which is super easy to make and pretty tasteful, tasty, let me know and I will talk about it on another video. But anyway, I hope you're having a great week and I'll talk to you later.